Hello everybody and welcome to Against the Fence. This weekend we've got UFC 262 where a vacant lightweight title is on the line. So we've decided that this week we're going to be giving you our top 5 greatest lightweights of all time. Don't go anywhere. So, who's going to go first with this one then?
Oh, right. Okay. So top 5, like, I mean, this was hard. This was actually really hard. 20 minutes to do this together.
No, you just literally just done it.
It wasn't easy to do. I'm telling you. But
I'm gonna jump in next. I'm gonna be controversial with mine. I want to put my opinion out there. Like we've mentioned plenty of times, we love opinions. Yeah. And this is why my opinion could stand out.
Okay.
No, absolutely.
I'm going to jump into my top 5.
Cool,
so,
go for it.
Let me hear number 5.
Yeah.
So in at number 5, I've Anthony Showtime Pettis. He came into the UFC like a star, really, like quite hyped up. We all know that flying kick they did off a cage. That was in the WEC. He took the WEC lightweight belts in that fight. But just the hype behind him coming into the UFC, he was knocking out people like Joe Lozon, Donna Cerrone, and then taking the lightweight belts off of Benson Henderson, winning that via armbar, and then having one title defense in the division. But the lightweight division is one of them divisions where the title was sort of changing hands by someone would have one title defense and then lose it. One title defense and then lose it. Apart from obviously the next couple that I will get into in a second. But Anthony Pettis is my number 5.
Yeah, that's why they say it's the most talent-stacked division.
Yeah. Indeedio. In at number 4, I have Benson Henderson. Benson Henderson, again, he's beating the likes of Clay Guida, Jim Miller, Nate Diaz, beating the likes of even Masvidal, Melendez, beating a who's who in the lightweight division. He was on a 7-fight win streak before he lost the belt, but he is tied for the most title defenses in 3, beating Frankie Edgar twice in that as well. Controversial, but he is the guy that invented the calf kick. Not invented it, but he was the one that implied it the most.
Started implementing it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, that's right.
And obviously, we all know nowadays in UFC, people apply the calf kick a lot, and it's all known from Benson Henderson.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That is my number 4 pick.
Okay. Smooth, right?
Yeah.
Smooth.
That's
Benson
it.
Smooth Henderson.
I rank him above Pettis just purely because he has more title defenses.
Okay.
In at number 3, I have BJ the Prodigy Penn. I have BJ. Yeah, he's got to be in there. He's got to be in there. Obviously, I grew up watching BJ Penn, and this guy was a killer. He'd knock you out. He'd submit you. Again, changing divisions, welterweight, middleweight. He could do it all. Yeah, again, he was the first one to break the record for the most title defenses. Again, that was 3. Taking you guys back when he did that flying knee against Sean Shirk. Come on now. But again, the reason I rank him above Benson Henderson is just purely because I grew up watching BJ Penn, and again, I don't call him the prodigy for nothing.
That's fair. Yeah, no, good reason.
In at number 2, this is where it's going to get controversial, boys. I have number 2. I have Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Oh, he's put Khabib at 2.
Okay.
I have Khabib at number 2. Obviously, we all know Khabib he's 13-0 in UFC lightweight record. Yeah. Again, he is tied for the most title defenses in 3, beating the top guys in the lightweight division. Again, if he would have carried on and got that 30-0 in his overall record, he would have been my number 1 because he would have had 4 title defenses and he would have been the out-and-out number 1. But he did win the belt when it was vacant, and he won the belt when it wasn't the opponent he was meant to fight. He fought
Quinta.
Yeah, Aleo Quinta, but he wasn't meant to fight Aleo Quinta. But yeah, obviously Khabib's got to be in there again. He used to maul the guys in the lightweight division. Indeed. But I rank him above BJ Penn just purely because obviously Khabib is undefeated. And BJ Penn did take a little bit of a dip in his career.
Okay.
Fair. Yeah.
In at number 1, I've got Frankie the Answer Edgar.
No surprise.
There we go.
No surprise. Again,
I was wondering when he's going to rear his ugly head.
I know people may think I'm biased with this. But,
what's your son's name? Middle name?
The reason I have Frankie in at number 1, just purely, as I mentioned with Khabib won the belt when it was vacant and against an opponent he wasn't meant to fight. Frankie beat BJ Penn in his prime, and he made it look easy. He didn't do it once; he done it twice. And obviously, later on down the line, he did beat him a third. But in the lightweight division, he beat him twice. when arguably people were saying BJ Penn was one of the pound for pound best fighters on the planet. And Frankie dominated him in both of the fights. Frankie Edgar had 2 title defenses, obviously, one being BJ Penn and the second being Gray Maynard. Arguably, my opinion, he did beat Benson Henderson in their fights. Obviously, I know I have Benson Henderson in at number 4, but my opinion, after watching them fights closely back, I think Frankie Edgar, it was the upkick that made me turn the tail of the tapes of that fight. Based on, as my opinion, thinking that he won them fights, I would have Frankie Edgar in at number 1.
Wow, I was going to literally ask you, how come Benson Henderson isn't your number 1 if Benson Henderson has 2 wins over Frankie Edgar already?
No, but my opinion, I think Frankie did beat him in them fights. I know they were close fights. They weren't like dominations like Frankie beat BJ Penn. They were very, very, very close.
No, that's fair.
Biased opinion,
they were quite...
But this is what I'm saying. We love opinions. I know he's biased because I'm wearing a Frankie Edgar top. But,
we all love opinions.
But I know it's some people that may seem biased, but it's my opinion.
Yeah, right. No, nice. I mean, that was pretty solid, actually. A great top 5. I like that. And I can certainly make sense of Khabib being there 1 and 2. I mean, I would have liked to see him at 1 person myself.
Yeah, it's just the way he won the belt. That's why he's in at number 2. Okay. And obviously, Frankie won the belt, beating BJ Penn.
All right.
Really good reasons.
Well, I mean, shall I go up next then?
Yeah, go for it.
By all means.
Okay, well, for me, in at number 5, I've got BJ the Prodigy Penn. And now I'm kind of going off of script a little bit compared to the previous top 5 videos that I've done, greatest of all times, because usually I rank them sort of out of accomplishments. This one's going to be a little bit different flavour. Now, BJ the Prodigy Penn is the only lightweight in history to have gone up in weight and claimed the welterweight title. I think BJ Penn is one of the most well-rounded fighters that we've seen at lightweight.
He's got to be in there.
Was been known for his incredible boxing skills, multiple Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament kind of wins. So that's the reason why BJ Penn fits in at number 5. My number 4 pick, indeed, is Frankie the Answer Edgar. Now, similar to BJ Penn, he does hold 3 title defenses in the lightweight division. And the reason why I've ranked Frankie Edgar above is clearly because Frankie Edgar has 2 wins over BJ Penn. And yes, Frankie Edgar did beat BJ Penn twice. And that first time he claimed the lightweight belt. But he, arguably claimed it at a time when BJ Penn was sort of around his prime. He was coming off of devastating wins against Diego Sanchez, an absolute dominant performance. So I think that's the reason why Frankie Edgar sits in at number 4 for me. Then moving in at number 3, I've got Benson Henderson. Surprisingly, smooth. I had to have him in there.
Yeah, you got to. I hate him, but you got to.
Yeah, I know why you hate him. But Benson Henderson, again, another lightweight who has had 3 consecutive title defenses. He's a very well-rounded fighter as well. Previous to the other 2 that I mentioned, he's beaten the likes, like you said before, Nate Diaz. He beat Josh Thompson, who arguably coming up was one of the most devastating lightweights to come up and out of Strikeforce. Said he's beaten Donald Cerrone and these kind of guys. A lot of the tough kind of competition in the lightweight division. But I rank him above the previous 2. I think he's more well-rounded than BJ Penn, and then he's also beaten Frankie Edgar twice. So that's why he sits above those 2, in my opinion.
Logically, that makes sense.
Yeah, logically makes sense. Course, now, moving in at number 2, this kind of might shock you guys a little bit. My number 2 pick, no, it's not Conor McGregor. My number 2 pick is actually Tony Ferguson.
Okay.
Now, the reason why Tony Ferguson is at number 2 for me is because he does hold the record for the longest win streak in lightweight history. Now, joint record. Now, in that 12-fight win streak that Tony Ferguson managed to conjure up, he defeated 2 former champions, one being Anthony Pettis, who won the belt off of Benson Henderson, as I previously mentioned, and the other against Rafael dos Anjos, who defeated Anthony Pettis. So it kind of makes sense for me to put Tony Ferguson in at number 2. Now, he never got that proper title shot that he deserved.
No, he
and
didn't,
for me, Tony Ferguson, in his prime, is one of the most devastating fighters we've seen at lightweight. And it's such a shame that we did not get that all-important title fight, and it would have been against Khabib Nurmagomedov, who sits in at my number 1, because Khabib Nurmagomedov, not only did he retire undefeated, but he also had 2 title defenses on his resume as well. And that's my top 5 picks.
Nice, mate. Nice. Yeah, obviously Khabib's got to be in and around. Obviously, well,
I mean, I'm glad you guys have mentioned Khabib.
To be honest,
yeah, I'm glad you mentioned.
Yeah,
BJ
Tony
Penn
Ferguson.
as well.
That's a surprising one. Yeah, that's an interesting one, because obviously my ones have all been champions. Obviously, he didn't officially win the belt, but yeah, think about it like logically like that. Obviously, the win streak that he did have. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it was very hard to kind of like put them in order because one's beating one guy, one's beating the other. And then this guy's got X amount of title defenses, though, on the other hand. And it's just like, it was really hard to kind of gauge. And that's where I felt that Tony Ferguson fit in amongst all of those people because of that win streak, really.
Okay, so look, I guess it's my turn.
You're up now.
I guess it's me. I guess it's me. And this is a bit of a...
I can tell you took your time with this. You thought long and hard about your picks.
You can tell. You can tell because you was there when I did it.
Flabbergasted right now.
You were there when I done it. It's honestly, it's going to be. It's a tough one to do. It honestly is. I mean, there's no surprise. You guys have been watching UFC a lot longer than I have.
Controversial as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. It's controversial. I mean, you've seen so many more fights than I have, and a lot more fighters growing up. And I've been lately into the sport and really getting into the sport. And the only way I can really answer the question, the top 5 lightweights of all time, is really just sort of looking at who's had an impact on me. Who's been excited to watch. Number 5, I wanted to go with Joe Lauzon. The reason why he's an exciting fighter to watch. He's got 13 finishes at the division. Now, a lot of people can step into lightweight division and ultimately have a good couple of fights and move into another division. It's known to be the most competitive, the toughest division out there for a reason. And this guy has the most finishes in it. So for me, that's pretty badass. And I think he deserves to get a position here in one of my top 5. He's also got the most performance bonuses as well. So think about that.
True, yeah.
The guy's got 15 performance bonuses. And look, I love the sport. I love to watch it. And he's one of the reasons why I love to watch it, because just the rush.
You love war.
I love the war. I love
finishes as well. That guy pulled off as well.
More. So in at number 4 for me, it's quite very different to you guys, but it's Jim Miller, and I'm a big fan of this guy.
Jim Miller, nice.
Yeah, he is a legend. He's a warrior in the sport as well. He's been around from day dot. I mean, you guys will know that and vouch for that as well. But I guess I'm catching a bit more of his later years, and he's not as good to watch now as he used to be. But at the same time, this guy's an absolute beast. He also has 9 submission wins. He also has, which is one of the most submission wins in the lightweight division. And I'm looking here hard at stats, because basically in a tough division like this, what you got to show for it other than
stats don't lie, do they?
They don't. They really don't. He's got a total of 35 fights, and he's got racked up an impressive 19 wins, which is the most wins in the lightweight division. And so that's the reason for me why this guy has to go above Joe Lauzon. For me, my number 3 is Frankie Edgar. And I know, Ash, you had him earlier on. You spoke quite fondly of him. But for me, I had to rank this guy down at my 3rd. He's not in the lightweight division at the moment. And he was here, of course. He had a big impact on the division. He fought the who's who, some really big fights as well to his name. The likes of BJ Penn, he fought Charles Oliveira. He's had fights with Benson Henderson as well, who you guys spoke quite highly of earlier as well. Gray Maynard, of course, he drew in that bout as well. But he had some of the gnarliest fights in the division. With an impressive 13 wins by decision, 4 submissions, and 6 wins via knockout. That's why Frankie, for me, sits here at number 3. So my number 2 here in the lightweight division, for me, it's BJ Penn. Okay, and I know that's going to sort of... I know you guys don't entirely agree with that, but
that's a lot higher up than what we had.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I did like it. I mean, I'm talking about when this guy was in his prime. I looked at some of the stats that he had next to his name. He's got 3 title defenses here within the division. He is more, I am a fan of keeping him firmly in number 2. So yeah, again, another one that's in there that's probably a little bit controversial.
He did kind of pave the way in some
he did, yeah, that's true.
To be honest.
Indeed.
What came after him was truly
something.
something. But yeah, it started somewhere, and that somewhere was BJ Penn. My number 1 is Khabib Nurmagomedov, the Eagle. He is sitting there at the top of my picks. Yeah, he is undefeated, completely thrashed a lovely record of 29-0. But second to that as well, he's got a 12 total fight win streak in this division, which is tough, especially at the point where it's been at its prime. And
the division,
yeah, it really is. Khabib has flown high above all of that, and he rightly stills that number one spot for me.
See, Joe Lozard and Jim Miller, there's some interesting picks, obviously.
Yeah.
I think that, obviously I've gone for more champions, but again, you've got your reasons to back your picks up.
We're not looking.
Two vets, two
exactly.
You know, guys who managed to accumulate quite a lot of submission wins and finishes in the lightweight division, and kind of almost there as a gatekeeper.
Yes,
but never quite really made it.
And for me, about watching UFC is all about who can put on a show, the best fights, and bring entertainment. And
we know you love a fight, Mr. Brown.
Oh, I love a brawl. So that is that's our top 5.
All right, okay, that's our top 5 picks, guys. Our top 5 lightweight picks of all time. If you've got your top 5 lightweight picks, why don't you pop them in the comment section below? We would love to hear what you've got. We hope you enjoy the video. Please do smash a like and subscribe to our channel. We're going to be bringing you quite a lot of UFC related content. We hope you enjoy tomorrow night's UFC 262. We hope you join us for the watch along as well.
Yeah, let's hope so. Yeah,
an absolute pleasure, folks. We'll see you next time.
Indeed.
All right. So my number 4. Up next, I am a big fan of.
I'm a big fan of.
Hang on, let me just check Wikipedia.
Such a big fan. I can't remember his name.
Tony Ferguson.
No, it's BJ Penn. So
how dare you rank BJ Penn above Frankie? He's had the piss. Frankie beat him.
But
that's all right. It's your opinion. I don't know. Right?
In at number 2, I'm a big fan here of BJ Penn. Take 2. Hey, don't freak out. But my number 2 is BJ Penn. There it is. Look, I said it. This guy, for the reason he's had 4 title fights within the lightweight division. He's defended his title 3 times in the lightweight division.